What is the real responsibility of government?
Big Talk delves deep into the heart of the matter. Join us weekdays on Global Televisions from 6:30 p.m. for a reverting journey into the heart of politics, where we dissect issues shaping our society.
With every government and introduction of new policies, businesses of all kinds and sizes seize the opportunity to evolve and redefine themselves. Business Point on Global Television is where we follow the money and put the facts and figures right in front of you. Watch Business Point every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. as Kikelamo Okere tracks all the latest developments across critical sectors. Business Point, this is business.
Are you ready to be entertained like never before? Get ready to dive into the latest and greatest entertainment news in lifestyle, music, movies, birthday celebration, and so much more, all on Entertainment Circle on Global Television. From the hottest red carpet event to exclusive interviews with your favorite stars, we've got you covered. Stay up to date with the latest trends and news from the entertainment world, all in one place. Tune in every Saturday by 1 p.m. with Chong Annabelle Joseph on Global Television.
In an ever-busy world, the increasing challenge of keeping track of health matters can be extremely demanding. Follow the latest health tips and trends on Health Guide on Global Television on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Health Guide on Global Television. Put your health first. Get ready for it. Inside Today brings you issues relating to family, peer pressure, drugs, substance abuse, societal and topical issues making rounds. Join Jumaine Manson on Global Television Monday to Thursday and a repeat every Friday. Time 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Don't miss out.
Are you a food lover? Do you care about your health and nutrition? Are you interested in exploring the diverse culinary traditions from around the world? Then look no further. Introducing Lunch Global on Global Television, a show that takes you on a delicious journey through the world of food, nutrition, and diet. So, whether you're a seasoned foodie, a health enthusiast, or simply curious about the world of food, Lunch Global has something for everyone. Tune in Mondays to Fridays and let your taste bud take you on a journey of flavor, culture, and discovery on Lunch Global. Bon appetit!
Thank you for staying with us, everyone. It's a great Saturday morning, 20th day in the month of July. Global TV is still basking in the euphoria of this very laudable milestone it has accomplished. Third day into being on this TV, it just can only get better, like we said yesterday. Jumaine Manson, like I mentioned a while ago, is on the program, and again, we're doing this together on the weekend.
Yes, we are. Good morning. It's great to have you on the program.
Yeah, the pleasure is all mine.
It's an amazing feeling. The third day on DSTV, it's an amazing feeling. Like, I like what I see already, seeing us on DSTV.
Nah, you don't want to loud it.
I know. Weddings happening, lots of celebrations, a lot of people are having an amazing time. So Global Morning, for people that are wondering, this is going to be political today. No, it's going to be soft and really amazing. We have like an artist coming in who is a musician. It's going to be here. We're going to be looking at tweets from various discussions. And we and I are just going to be here, just trying to keep your morning cozy, exciting, informing you at the same time. Of course, we know about the new minimum wage of 70,000 naira, which is an applaud for the government, and of course an applaud for our president. Yes, exactly, Labour and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for giving that listening ear. And at least that increment is there. At least there was something. They didn't stay on that 60,000 or 62,000 naira, but at least 70,000 naira. And my joy is the review every 3 years, and hope it's going to be effective, which I know with this administration keeping to its word. In fact, being empathetic. Like, it's very important that we give the government a round of applause because of the listening ear to the labor. It will get better with time, one step at a time, baby steps, right? Or do we crawl first?
Well, I think we've crawled for a while, so let's begin with a couple of baby steps. Right?
Exactly.
I think that's just the right thing to do at this point. Juma already made it, established that we'll have a lot lined up for you today as we move into the program all the way till 10 o'clock West African time here. So we're also going to look at the papers for you and see what the news is like this weekend. Bring you a bit of motivation here and there, and then, of course, we'll get to talk to a young, upcoming artist who has a lot to offer with regards to what the industry is like and what his experience has also been like. We'll talk about food as well, because weekend is a time for enjoyment.
Exactly.
And you can't take that away. All right. And again, this is Africa, Nigeria in particular. We are home to amazing cuisines, and we're just going to share some of those with you in the course of the program as well today. In the meantime, we're taking a break. When we return, we'll talk some more and then give you insights into certain developments across the country and indeed the world right now.
Are you a food lover? Do you care about your health and nutrition? Are you interested in exploring the diverse culinary traditions from around the world? Then look no further. Introducing Lunch Global on Global Television, a show that takes you on a delicious journey through the world of food, nutrition, and diet. So, whether you're a seasoned foodie, a health enthusiast, or simply curious about the world of food, Lunch Global has something for everyone. Tune in Mondays to Fridays and let your taste bud take you on a journey of flavor, culture, and discovery on Lunch Global. Bon appetit!
Time check. It's midday. Then it's Midday Discourse. Midday Discourse is a program that covers trending local and international news, current issues, and human-related topics. Join Samuel Odi weekdays 1 p.m. on Global Television. The discussion starts here.
It's time for sports' biggest moments on Global Television. The headlines, scores, breaking news, and commentaries on sporty events. Talking with the biggest players, strikers, and about the slam dunks and goals, stunning saves, near misses, and upsets. Let's talk about the greatest home runs, comebacks, knockdowns, and victories. Talk sports with the king of sports, Anthony Momadou. Weekdays, 10 a.m. Don't miss out.
Hello, children. Gather around, let me tell you a story.
Do you know that stories have a way of captivating the minds of children, bringing fun and imagination to teach them morals? Join Sharon Ajay as she takes you to explore the thrilling and exciting world of storytelling.
I'll be sharing with you our next interesting story.
Tune in every Saturday on Global Television, time 5:30 p.m.
Is the desk on Global Television?
Nigeria. Come join Anthony Momadou on television's most compelling and facts-finding talk live show.
We are the Palestinians. We are the Canaan because
that this country gets it right.
It's the Dex on Global Television, where we analyze and dissect storming issues and commentaries in the world's biggest black nation, Nigeria.
Who is being held accountable for this money?
The eyes have it.
We stay and decide policies and reforms on the Dex. Tune in Mondays to Fridays, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Global Television. Let's stay on the Dex.
Global Morning is your ultimate destination for engaging political and economic matters. I am Uyi Agmofrebe.
And don't forget to include social discussions. Tune in every weekdays from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am Queen Agaba.
For insightful breakfast ideas, business summaries, sports highlights, international and local news perspective, I am Anthony Momodu.
Don't miss the in-depth analysis of current and political issues by the Global Morning team and experts. I am Jumai Manson.
Catch Global Morning here on Global Television. Getting on the action. I am Edikan Michael.
We are
the Global Morning team.
Thank you for staying glued to your TV set. And yes, it's Global Morning Weekend, and I'm not doing it alone, like Uyi rightfully said. And we're going to be looking at food, the food angle. Now, I'm going to put Uyi on the spot. Uyi, tell me really, do you know how to cook?
Okay, I hate to brag, but I do, basically. The only thing is, my food stuff would always get wasted because I'm reluctant to cook.
Okay.
But it doesn't take away the fact that I have the skill to cook. Basically, maybe on a scale of 10, I can rate myself 6.
No. As long as the food stuff will always get wasted, you do not know how to cook. There's no point actually if you know how to prepare local delicacies. So I've gone.
Maybe I just don't enjoy cooking, but I do have the skill.
No, you don't. All right, and about this one, we were going into taste and texture. And yes, for the first time on Global Morning, I will be telling us we'll be having agidi. For those of you wondering, what is that all about? You have to stay glued to your TV set. Up next is taste and texture. Stay tuned.
Agidi, also known as eko, is a traditional Nigerian dish made from maize or cornstarch. This smooth gelatinous pudding is a versatile accompaniment to various Nigerian dishes. Easy to prepare, it offers a delightful taste of Nigerian cuisines. Agidi makes a great breakfast meal when combined with akara or moi moi. It makes a great combo with Nigerian assorted meat pepper soup. This is popularly served in Nigerian restaurants, but you can replicate that at home. Agidi also goes well with Nigerian soups for swallows, especially the draw soup like the seafood okra. Hello and welcome to another episode of Taste and Texture. I'm Fatimi Abba Umar. Agidi eko ingredients. You need only 2 ingredients to make agidi eko. 500 grams of dry corn, 1 cup of water. The tools and utensils you need: bowl, pot, wooden spatula. And now the agidi eko ingredients. The corn must be dry. If you can't buy dry corn where you live, use dry corn starch. For the classic color of agidi, which is white, the corn must be white. If you use yellow corn, you'll get yellow agidi. If you don't mind the yellow color, go ahead. But if you're making the agidi for commercial purposes, such as to serve in your restaurants or occasions, the corn must be white. And now let's make it. Pour the corn powder in a bowl. Pour water to the corn and mix well to achieve a smooth paste. Ensure there is no lump in it. Place the pot on the stove and place the pot on the stove and set the heat into medium-low. Pour the paste into the boiling water. Stir continuously with a wooden spatula. You don't need to have to stir in one direction. Just make sure you're constantly stirring the mixture. Mix for like 3 to 5 minutes. When it's thickened, it has completely thickened and completely smooth. Take it off the fire. Put them in scoops into the pudding bowls. Cover it and let it cool for 3 hours. On another note, you can put it in the fridge for 45 minutes if you can't wait those long hours. And now your agidi eko is ready. Serve with any soup of your choice to suit your taste bud: akara or moi moi, pepper soup, and wine with a chill glass of water or a chilled drink. Enjoy. And now to the health benefits of agidi eko. Cornmeal or eko agidi aids in proper digestion due to its high fiber content, preventing constipation and promoting a healthy gastrointestinal system. It also contributes to the improved eyesight thanks to its nutrient profile. Eko is good for your eyes. It helps to prevent diverticulosis, a disease of the large intestines. Also, The meal is rich in fiber, which helps to regulate blood sugar levels by slowing down glucose absorption in the bloodstream. This slow and steady release of glucose prevents sudden spikes in blood sugar, making it an ideal choice for individuals with diabetes. That's all for now. Bye.
All right, you're welcome back. And yes, that was agidi, known in our local term, they call it eko, and the Edo people call it akasan, right?
Right.
And when the producer said action, he wants to come to, I wanted him to come to you, so you explain to us what. But because he doesn't know anything about cooking, I have assumed, I've taken upon myself to assume that.
I think that's misassessment.
Exactly. And of course, this goes for those of you wondering out there, Jumai Ui, you just taught us how to make that. Are we going to eat it plain or?
It doesn't look exciting.
It doesn't look exciting, but believe me, it is delicious where you can have that with your, your offers when it comes to pepper soup. That's the intestine pepper soups, or the northerners call it kaya and chiki, the pepper soup. You can have that with your moi moi, with your bean cake known as akara. You can have that with beans, varieties. It is delicious. You should try it. For those of you out there that had your pen and paper writing out how to make it, you should try it, right?
And then come back here and say thank you.
I go back here and say thank you.
Food is good, especially when you eat healthy. And then, of course, you have to complement the choice of healthy eating with other activities like exercising,
very important.
Meditation,
very
good
important.
sleep,
very
when to go to bed, when to get up bed. Just set your priorities right, and you won't regret it, right? We have a special report put together, which will come your way later on in the show, focusing on the metro line in Abuja, put together by our own correspondent, Jacob Michael, just to highlight what the president has also done, particularly under the leadership in this in the FCT, yes,
exactly,
of Wike, Minister of the Territory.
Yes.
All right, to say that, look, not only do we want this facility, the rail line, to be functional, we're also giving members of the public, those residents in the nation's capital, 6 months of free rides.
Yes.
Whether people are taking advantage of that fully, whether they're maximizing it or not, is another angle to the conversation. But you see, government can't do everything.
Yes.
If government has put out, some sort of initiative and says, look, this is for members of the public. And then we have also done our bit as a media outfit to put the news out there for you. All you have to do is to take advantage of it. And then you also let us have feedback about how what your assessment is.
Exactly, right? And that's to commend the present administration for this particular initiative, and of course the FCT minister, other than Nyesom Wike. This is a very big achievement. A lot of people are going through the stress of, everyone's talking about what's happening in the country, how to balance it when it comes to food, going to the market, transportation, and this at least has eased the transportation to and fro when it comes to people in the FCT. You can actually go by the rail, which is train, and then you can even relax. Of course, an amazing, the train, amazing. And of course, the environment is very, very relaxable. So it's a kudos to this administration for the fact that putting this together, this is something. And like you rightly said, the government cannot do everything. We should try as much as possible to make impact. At least let us try. They've laid the foundation. Let us ensure that it keeps growing and it keeps getting better.
Well, again, as we say, these days, it can only get better, right? Now, let's hit another quick break. When we return after this, we'll be looking at the papers for you, bring you big headlines, so we can guide you through what the news is saying today, and then inspire you enough to read out big stories for yourself. We're back shortly. Do stay with us.
Stay tuned.
Global television is people's television. It's for the people. They focus on the contents of deliverables.
Global Television, channel 365 on your DSTV, the station to watch for your news and current affairs.
Abuja Rail Mass Transit is a regional rail transport system in the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria. It is a second rapid transit system in West Africa. The first phase of the project connects the city center to Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, stopping at the Abuja-Kaduna Railway Station in Ido, with more than 2,000 passengers boarding per day. The Abuja Metro Station project, which has been idle for years, was commissioned in 2018 by former President Muhammadu Buhari, and on May 29, 2024, President Bola Tinubu flagged it off for commercial operations. According to the design of the rail, the project is to cover a total distance of 290 kilometers and is meant to be developed in 6 phases.
The facilities we have now is modern facilities. We have what we call DMU, diesel multiple unit, popularly called locomotives. And we have 12 DMU, and each DMU consists of 4 locomotives. So, in other words, we have 48 locomotives on ground now. And the tracks, they are, double, gauge tracks. So, and you can see the stations. They are modern stations. So far, so good. We have recorded over 30,000 passengers since we started 30th of May 2024.
The Abuja Rail Transit has a future expansion of Lot 2 from Gwagwa via Transportation Center to Nyanya Karu. Lot 4 is from Kuje to Kashi, with the remaining legs of the transit way in Line 2. Lot 5 from Kubwa via Buari to Suleja. Lot 6 from Airport via Kuje and Gwagwalada to Dobi.
This is actually my first time boarding a train, and I'm so happy and so glad for the federal government to bring this into Abuja, and this is really, really, really a nice experience for me.
The train is clean, and as you can see, the securities inside there are doing their work. The federal government, I will commend them on this particular development because it's a welcome development in the city centers of Abuja. So people who are coming from the Basanjua to the city centers, who are working in the central areas, they find it very, very easy because due to the cost of the transportation now, fuel cost is too high. People cannot actually afford to use their vehicles to go to work every morning. So they are using the means of this fast light rail to go to their workplaces.
I've been on board of the train for more than 11 times, and I feel good that the government provide for us a free and reliable transport for everybody.
Or at least on this one, they did very well.
We are already live inside the train, about to move in less than 5 minutes down to the airport, which is the final stop for today's. And of course, the experience right here, the passengers already boarding, is quite electrifying, giving a lot of commentaries about how they feel about the train. Generally, this is also in a bid by the federal government to cushion a lot of transportation pressure on the residents of the Federal Capital Territory. And we can see the passengers are already boarding, sitting behind, and having a feel of what the train really looks like. For some of them, this is the first time, but for others, it has been on operations right from 30th May till today. They have been boarding the train to and fro. And this is also encouraging the fact that the experience of the train station and the fact that the security right here is also safe for the passengers.
The commencement of commercial operations of the Abuja Rail Mass Transit project is to solve the perennial transportation problem in the Federal Capital Territory and its adjoining towns and cities. The project will also be a reliable alternative to road transport, help alleviate traffic congestion in Abuja, and reduce strains associated with heavy traffic. The light rail system will also provide mobility for residents to access various parts of the city, as well as support social inclusion and provides greater access to employment, education, and healthcare facilities.
And well-investigated stories. Look no further than Global Television. Dive deep into issues with our in-depth analysis and stay informed with our educational and interesting programs. Join us on Global Television, where quality content meets excellence. Follow us on all our social media platforms to stay connected and never...
The new Milo 3-in-1 Milky and Creamy is truly milky and contains calcium. No need to add milk for that rich, creamy cup, which helps to nourish and energize your kids. Milo!
It's good to know you're still staying with us here on Global Morning, Saturday's special edition with yours sincerely and Jomaya Manson. Time to turn to the papers for you now. Let's begin from our first port of call, the Guardian newspaper. Now, when you look at the Guardian newspaper, you see that it's not something that's new to you if you have followed news in the last 1 week in particular. All right, you see a big picture, very bold, of Senator Ndume, Ali Ndume, that is, former chief whip of the Nigerian Senate, got replaced just a few days ago. But then, as it stands right now, he has been moved to a different committee altogether. So ultimately, several news stories are around him right now. So you have this one here saying Ali Ndume travels of a vocal parliamentarian. If you pick up a copy of the Guardian newspaper today, you can read up details for yourself on pages 32, and the story continues on 33 as well. All right. Kwara LG polls, I should say, Intrigues as APC PDP plots to test strength. Of course, Kwara, as they say, is an APC state. Of course, has an APC governor. But let's see, since now Guardian calls it the test of strength. How barriers to accessing free treatment, stigmatization impede quest to end HIV/AIDS by 2030. That's headline has a picture of Minister of Health and Social Development, talking about Professor Ali Pate. FCCPC fines Meta $220 million for data breach, other offenses in Nigeria. Okay. Abuja court stops INEC from releasing voters' register for Rivers LG elections. Crime rate reducing, IGP boasts as Tinubu meets security chiefs. Time to grab opportunities in livestock noise. All right, you can read all of these details when you pick up the copy of the Guardian newspaper this morning. The next port of call is the Daily Independent.
Yes, the caption, Saturday Independent, and it says, above the caption, below the caption, it says, war against multi-billion-naira oil bunkering may yield no results without enforcement. And that is really true. We have to nip this in the bud, right, because this is causing a lot of issues when it comes to oil bunkering, especially in the Niger Delta region. We know what has happened. The militants that are erupting from that part of the country. It's
the boys in the creek.
The boys in the creek. It hasn't been easy, really. We need to nip it in the bud because that is one of Nigerians' resources. So we have to really nip it in the bud when it comes to that. And then here, still on the Saturday Independent, says, retired Supreme Court Justice Agis and others fault indecent dressing by lawyers. Very important. And this particular caption I really need to read. Rivers State says, 80,000 naira minimum wage proposal in Rivers, fictitious. Governor Fubara clarifies. I don't know why people go about, with such rumors.
Fake news.
Fake news. That's been established that it's 70,000 naira. I think all governors need to work within that. Now, crime rate reducing, IGP boast as Tinubu meets security chiefs. Now, this particular caption is interesting by Dakori Egboson, which says, many still perceive talent creative products out of Africa as inferior. Why is that so?
It's a perception problem by the world. It's like
it is.
saying if a piece of furniture comes out of somewhere in the South, it's inferior to the ones coming from Europe. So if someone in area markets in Aba makes a pair of suit for me, is inferior to the one that comes from somewhere in Europe, maybe Italy or France. So it's a perception. However, for me, I think the real concern is we don't have to break a sweat over how we are perceived. The idea should be, the motivation should be for us to pay more attention to how we want to be perceived. All right, that's why you see a lot of celebrities, even politically exposed persons, pay a lot of money to find people to help them work on their perceptions. So we should take responsibility for how we want to be perceived. So whatever we are making, whether they are sandals, whether they are automobile, whether they are fast-moving consumer goods, for example, that we are exporting out of this country or even the continent, we must take responsibility for determining how we want to be perceived. There was a time over 40 products from Nigeria were returned from Europe because they said they didn't meet standards.
Yes, they were inferior.
So rather than lament over how we were treated about that particular incident, we should be more concerned about how do we do better? How do
Exactly.
How do we rebrand and reinvent ourselves? I think that's the perspective we should be thinking from.
And the thing is, we have creative Nigerians, there are talented Nigerians who have this handcraft and they go all out. So like you said, I think we should go back to the drawing board and see how we can make it better and how we can do it better. I think that's what the rebranding is all about. Exactly. People will surely say a lot of things, but how you go back and make it better drives home the story. And it says, Northern Coalition raises the alarm, says revolution looms in Nigeria. So that's it on Saturday Independent. Please go out, get your copy, and read more on the details. Now we have the Leadership Weekend. Over to you.
Leadership Weekend, again, one of the headlines there focuses on Ali Ndume. It's unpatriotic not to speak truth to Tinubu, Ndume says. If you look at the front cover of the Leadership Weekend today, all right, just above the nameplate, it's unpatriotic not to speak truth to Tinubu, Ndume. Olubado, Makinde Ladoja feud sets stage for another Game of Thrones. U.S. airlines resume operations after a global outage. That's in reference to the internet outage we saw just yesterday and the day before that. A data privacy breach. FCCPC fines Meta platforms $220 million. We'll see how that plays out because Meta has been fined across continents last few years. Are states on edge over planned hardship protests? Ryder here says, governors call for dialogue, say grievances receiving attention. Demonstration is a constitutional right, CSOs. Northern students, others pull out. Security agencies place personnel on alert. All right, then if you look at the top, at the bottom left, there's a picture of the governor of Kwara State there, Abdul Razak. He says, 70,000 naira minimum wage, governors to await details. All right, you can also read that story up on page 7 of Leadership Weekend today. Then at the foot of the front page of the paper, Amina Ogi, SANs decry indecent dressing among lawyers. It's good that we are having this conversation now because lawyers they are role models in society.
Yes, they are.
They are in a profession that's called noble, and then of course how they appear should also be in alignment with the nobility of their profession.
Very true, very true. I'm glad this particular issue is going to be addressed. It's very important that, like you said, being a lawyer is a noble profession. You must portray what you do, and it's very important that you serve as a role model to so many individuals. So please, you should do the needful. You should set the pace so others can follow. So right now, I'm
moving on to the Punch newspaper.
I'm moving on to Saturday Punch and some very punchy headlines. The first caption on the Punch, and it says here, I feel bad watching myself act wicked roles. That's Ayo Adesoyan, if you've known a legendary actress, an amazing actor. And here it says, police under pressure over medical reports of Lagos teenager defiled by cop. This is a very sad caption because, you know, the police, they're these individuals that we look up to protect lives and property. So when a police officer defiles a teenager, it's something that we should all be worried.
Not a situation where it should be protected.
Exactly. So we all should be worried, and I pray the right measures should be done and taken on that police officer. Very important.
To serve as a deterrent.
As a deterrent to others. And it says global IT hit Nigerian passengers glooms as foreign airlines cancel delay flights. What's going on? From one capture, we hear that they've resumed, and now there are delayed flights. And
because of the consequences of it. So I think things will probably start stabilizing starting from Monday.
Exactly. And still on the Saturday Punch, it says, standing on one leg all day, working tough, amputee hairstylist. That's a brave woman over there. So despite all odds, she's still doing what she does to make ends meet. Now, man's best pet faces, feeds crisis as dog owners battle skyrocketing cost of feeds and medicals. And it says, a flood has sacked our children from schools, Lagos community leader. That's unfortunate. That, you know, I say, for Lagos has very good infrastructure. My problem is they do not have a drainage system. When it rains, places like Egbeda, Akowonjo, there are some areas that you'll be shocked during the rain.
The flooding.
I don't want to imagine what they're going through at this point. Some areas, it's unbearable at this point. It's really, really sad. We need a good drainage system. It's very important. And I do not know why people still wait till this time during the rainy season. We go through,
empty their trash.
Exactly. And we go through this process over and over again. When it's the dry season, there should be like a measure that you take to prepare for the rainy season so it won't get as bad as this, leaving our children out of school. It's really, really sad.
Sorry.
All right, let's move on to the next paper now.
The Saturday Times, that's what we're looking at next for you. We'll begin with a headline that has a picture of President Bola Tinubu right there. Okay, and it says Tinubu, investments in key sectors will follow clear timelines. That's on page 4 of the Saturday Times. My encounter with gunman in Lagos traffic, CC, of course, you know CC, your big brother Niger fame, right? What's more, electricity tariff, band A epidemics turning hospitals to morgues, say doctors. Yes, Rema is my guy, Arasta confesses. Okay, that was on page 6. All right. What else? Edo Guba, tension heightens as PDP APC trade blames over murder violence. 2 riders with that headline. Shaibu remains impeached despite court judgment. That's EDSG, the state government. The second rider tells us CP vows to execute court judgment if so directed. Let's be clear about this Shaibu Edo state government issue. The courts, Federal High Court in Abuja has reinstated the otherwise impeached deputy governor to say that impeachment was null and void because according to the court judgment, the basis on which that impeachment was carried out was faulty ab initio. Therefore, it can't stand. And they say in law, you can't put something on nothing. Therefore, the court says it should not only be reinstated. The Inspector General, on the basis of that judgment, is ordered to reinstate his security so that he can go back to resume work. As of yesterday, news came through that the man, Philip Shaibu, has even made appointments. But then, on the flip side, the state government continues to say that you are no longer the deputy governor. We already have somebody.
Act.
Yes, who is the... So, again, maybe there's going to be some interpretation because we understand Edo State government, in the meantime, has gone back to court to say we're seeking what they call stay of execution. But in the middle of all this, there's an election coming up in the States in just exactly 2 months' time, September 21, which will determine who resumes work at Osadebe Avenue, the government house in the States, on the 12th of November. But in the meantime, Philip Shaibu is a figure when you talk about the politics of those states.
Very true.
To be reckoned with. So it's going to be a long, drawn-out battle going into the election. Yesterday, it was on a sister station in the morning where he talked about how that his 2 legs are now in the APC. If you follow the election, I mean, if you follow development in the state in the last 4 years, you realize that he moved with his former principal, Obaseki, from the APC to the PDP, yes, in 2020. But now the man says, yes, he is still officially a member of the PDP. However, his 2 legs are in the APC. All right, I'm not here to remove his legs. I'm just saying what he said.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, but let's see a few more headlines for you quickly. Senator Ndume turns down Akpabio's appointment, insists on comments. That seems like someone talking from a place of conviction, but his party is not buying that right now. A man in court for allegedly stealing 2.8 million naira tricycle. I think that's enough reason to be in court, really. Military rejigs operations against crude oil theft. We understand the president has given a standing order to say oil theft should be fought to a standstill. So we have seen the Chief of Defense Staff, General Musa, we've seen the IGP and Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetoku, all of them coming together to say there's no better time to carry out these fights than now. All right? Let's move on to Saturday Sun for you.
All right, Saturday Sun, the caption on Saturday Sun says, uproar over Tinubu's rice. And it says, 1.2 million bags, 25 kg rice, won't stop hunger. Nigerians tell president. But you know what? Let's give it to the president. At least rice has been has been out there. But let's just see. It's one step at a time. At least we should. At least 1.2 million.
You're saying we should also allow the president breathe.
Let's allow the president to breathe. He has, at least with all of these, like the renewed Hope agenda.
Right.
Let's just see how it takes place. Let's not be too fast to just conclude that it won't stop hunger. It's a process. Let's allow the president.
It's not going to happen overnight.
It will never happen overnight. This is 1 year plus in office. Let's allow him breathe, okay?
All right.
Let's see. And here it says, economists, PDP's CSOs, northern groups tackle government. Any attempt to reduce hunger welcome. That's by the NLC. Now, in Dume, he says, I stand by my words. And says Nigerians hungry and suffering. And 100 yam tubers sell for 1 million naira in Kaduna. Investment in key sectors impact on citizens. That's Tinubu, that's what he says there. And of course, a Nollywood actress who says, high stay of Nollywood scandals, Kehinde Bankole. And of course, you can get all of these interesting news from the Saturday Sun.
So let's look at Saturday Telegraph for you. Big story first, hardship, how Tinubu can lift economy from doldrums by Idika Kalu. I'm sure that would make a good read if you have always read articles by Idika Kalu. But then it says, insists government not doing enough in cutting cost of governance, says allocations to productive sectors must be increased. You can find all of those on page 7. Housing for all, deficits in sector poses major challenge for Nigerians. 2 writers here, governments shouldn't see investment in housing as profit-making venture. Ubosi, high cost of inputs not helpful, says Okoye. Tinubu changes service chiefs to synergize in fighting insecurity. All right, FG fines Meta $220 million for privacy breach to raise 100 billion naira from bond markets. CBN sells $106.5 million to 29 authorized dealers. We see a lot happening in that regard right now. Traducers of Gandhi J unrelenting as Tinubu protects APC chair. Attack on me was planned, Shuaibu. Okay, says my spirit has left PDP, now in APC. Yes, so his spirit has also moved alongside his 2 legs. So that's a whole lot of moving there. Police vow to arrest, prosecute killers of policemen. You know, when that attack happened, the police oddly attached to the APC gubernatorial candidate in the state was killed. And that was also the same attack that Philip Shaibu was referring to. That happened like 2 days ago.
Yesterday.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So yesterday granted an interview in that regard. But again, election no be fight, as we say, all right? When it's all said and done, politicians will always remain politicians.
Very
and
true.
Nigeria as a country must survive. So let's not kill ourselves just because somebody wants to get to a government house in Edo State. These two shall pass.
These two shall pass.
Right, so let's take notice of that. But above the nameplate of Saturday Telegraph, now NDLEA intercepts 9.8 billion naira worth of fresh codeine shipments from India. Juma, I hope Nigeria is not fast becoming a repository, like a dump site for illicit drugs. Because the way you hear these stories every day, at some point you're thinking maybe it's a movie script you're reading or something. It doesn't look like real. I mean, when you hear the amounts in terms of the value, the monetary value of the drugs, you're wondering, how did we suddenly become exactly these kind of sites for... Yes, for illicit drugs. Well, we have always had to fight illicit drugs over time.
Very true.
It appears there's been a steady increase.
Exactly.
You know, in that regard.
That's very true, and that is why it's very important that we try to curb this menace. This is what happens when the economy is unstable. People try as much as possible to find the fastest means to make
survival
money.
instinct.
Survival instinct that comes into play. So the more we try to fight this menace, the more we create an awareness and the damage it's causing to us, not just as a country, but as Nigerians. Because when you travel out of the shores of Nigeria, they have that mindset that, the corruption, they are corrupt, all of these, and now this particular stigma when it comes to drugs. So we have to be awareness. That's why you and I, we have that voice of speaking about it, talking about it, and the law enforcement agency, which they're doing an amazing job, if we won't get these numbers, to actually try as much as possible to curb this. NDLEA, for instance, fantastic, wonderful job when it comes to fighting drugs and all of these crimes in Nigeria. So we have a big role to play, but it's really scary. It is. But we hope that this particular menace is curbed as soon as possible.
Right. FG bars VIPs from using local airports for international flights. Can we sustain that? Can we enforce it? Well, you can read it up on page 7 or pages 7 and 30 of today's Saturday Telegraph. I will move on to our next paper for you now, and that will be the Saturday Tribune.
And that will be Saturday Tribune. And it says here, Osun local government polls, Otiek amends notice of election. Yes, it does. And Indume says, I stand by my comment on Tinubu's government. Now, Rivers Local Government Election Court stops INEC from releasing voters' register. And it says 296 kidnappers arrested in 6 weeks. Police, and here parade suspects and, of course, weapons. The police, of course, let's commend the Nigerian police force for their amazing job on how they try as much as possible to downsize this criminality that is ongoing in the country. And here it says Nigeria fines Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp $220 million. And here, and you can find that on page 4 of the Saturday Tribune. And another amazing caption here, it says, I'm ready to pay new minimum wage, and that's our dancing governor, Governor Adeleke. And you can find that on page 24 on the Saturday Tribune. And ex-Supreme Court Justice, others decry indecent dressing by lawyers. And you can find that on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune. And I'm sure he's going to talk about this when it comes to scale of justice. So you can throw more insight on what's going on with a professional touch when it comes to issues of law. And here, Edo violence, APC, PDP, trade blame. And please go out and get your paper. You can get that on page 7 of the Saturday Tribune.
All right, the Saturday Vanguard is where we are going to next now. Let's look at the headline that has a picture of President Bola Tinubu here. Nigerians to Tinubu, palliatives not solution to food shortage. The writer says, he urged FG to declare an emergency in food security, tackle insecurity caused by herders, initiate a national food production policy. Dangote, if we knew the magnitude of what we were going into, we would have. Well, this whole week, for the most part of it at least, Aliko Dangote, the group managing director, chairman, and of course founder of the Dangote Group, owners of the Dangote refinery and petrochemicals, has been lamenting how that the international oil companies, IOCs, have been frustrating the efforts of his refinery to get crude at a reasonable price. It says they are doing what they call round tripping of some kind now, and he's been talking about the impact of that on his refinery. But if you look at the front page of Saturday Vanguard this weekend, there seems to be a man who is regretting the move to have established the first private refinery of its kind on the continent of Africa. All right, no regrets. Let's. I mean, life goes on.
Life goes on. There will be challenges, but at the end of it, there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Right. Edo airport violence. APC, PDP, Edo government trade blames on page 6 of Saturday Vanguard. Transfer funds in dormant accounts to us, CBN Direct Banks. Transfer funds in dormant accounts to us, CBN Direct Banks. Targets $1 trillion economy by 2030. Of course, that's the overall target of President Bola Tinubu. Right? Health. Common painkiller reduces women's risk of deadly cancer. Let's be guided about medication. All right? I'm sure that's the last paper that we have.
Yes, that's the last
this
paper.
Morning.
Yes, that's the last paper we have this morning. And that is a wrap on the newspaper review here on Global Morning Weekend. Let's quickly go on a very quick break, and when we return, the program continues. Stay tuned.
And well-investigated stories. Look no further than Global Television. Dive deep into issues with our in-depth analysis and stay informed with our educational and interesting programs. Join us on Global Television, where quality content meets excellence. Follow us on all our social media platforms to stay connected and never miss an update. Global Television, Nigeria, our pride.
Global Morning is your ultimate destination for engaging political and economic matters. I am Uyi Agmofrebe.
And don't forget to include social discussions. Tune in every weekdays from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am Queen Agaba.
For insightful breakfast ideas, business summaries, sports highlights, international and local news perspective, I am Anthony Momodu.
Don't miss the in-depth analysis of current and political issues by the Global Morning team and experts. I am Jumai Manson.
Catch Global Morning here on Global Television, getting on the action. I am Edikan Michael.
We are
the Global Morning team.
Global TV concept is the emerging, brand that everybody must watch. So I subscribe, and I'm prescribing that we must all be ready to begin to watch Global TV.
So keep watching Global TV, especially for updates on agriculture, food, commodities, and without food, there is no great nation.
So please watch Global TV because it's going to change your life.
For an insightful idea that takes the center stage and the conversation that gets beyond the headlines, to explore the lasting impact of political decisions, Big Talk got you covered. From policy debates to geopolitical insights, from thought-provoking discussions to actionable insight.
What is the real responsibility of government?
Big Talk delves deep into the heart of the matter. Join us weekdays on Global Televisions from 6:30 p.m. for a reverting journey into the heart of politics, where we dissect issues shaping our society.
With every government and introduction of new policies, businesses of all kinds and sizes seize the opportunity to evolve and redefine themselves. Business Point on Global Television is where we follow the money and put the facts and figures right in front of you. Watch Business Point every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. as Kikelamo Okeri tracks all the latest developments across critical sectors. Business Point, this is business.
Are you ready to be entertained like never before? Get ready to dive into the latest and greatest entertainment news in lifestyle, music, movies, birthday celebration, and so much more, all on Entertainment Circle on Global Television. From the hottest red carpet event to exclusive interviews with your favorite stars, we've got you covered. Stay up to date with the latest trends and news from the entertainment world, all in one place. Tune in every Saturday by 1 p.m. with Chung Animal Joseph on Global Television.
Busy road, the increasing challenge of keeping track of health matters can be extremely demanding. Follow the latest health tips and trends on Health Guide on Global Television on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Health Guide on Global Television. Put your health first. Get ready for it. Inside Today brings you issues relating to family, peer pressure, drugs, substance abuse, societal and topical issues making rounds. Join Jumaine Manson on Global Television Monday to Thursday and it repeats every Friday. Time 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Don't miss out.
Are you a food lover? Do you care about your health and nutrition? Are you interested in exploring the diverse culinary traditions from around the world? Then look no further. Introducing Lunch Global on Global Television, the show that takes you on a delicious journey through the world of food, nutrition, and diet. So, whether you're a seasoned foodie, a health enthusiast, or simply curious about the world of food, Lunch Global has something for everyone. Tune in Mondays to Fridays and let your taste bud take you on a journey of flavor, culture, and discovery on Lunch Global. Bon appetit!
Time check. It's midday. Then it's Midday Discourse. Midday Discourse is a program that covers trending local and international news, current issues, and human-related topics. Join Samuel Odi weekdays 1 p.m. on Global Television. The discussion starts here.
It's time for sports' biggest moments on Global Television. The headlines, scores, breaking news, and commentaries on sporty events. Talking with the biggest players, strikers, and about the slam dunks and goals, stunning saves, near misses, and upsets. Let's talk about the greatest home runs, comebacks, knockdowns, and victories. Talk sports with the king of sports, Anthony Momodu. Weekdays, 10 a.m. Don't miss out.
Beautiful work from the wingers.
All right, you're welcome back. And that was the newspaper review segment. Now we're back on our first discuss, talking about the new minimum wage implementation of 70,000 naira by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And we'll be looking at it closely, talking about it, how some governors have actually decided that they will start paying, and some have already started paying, like the Edo State governor, who actually, for me, I said he actually kickstarted this whole process of the 70,000 naira in quote. Your state governor already started paying workers in
why are you getting personal with me?
I'm not getting personal.
Yeah, my state governor, yes.
Your state governor already started. He actually paved that way of
But that's something I should be proud of, by the way. I should be proud of that, right?
Yes, you should be. But if you'd have said, yes, you should be proud of it. I'm sure that was what gave that road for the governor to sit together and say, okay, fine. Setting the pace, exactly. If this governor can start paying without without coming together with NLC and, of course, the federal government, he already started paying, whether you started or not or you don't. But he has already given his own mandate, and he has already started implementation in Edo State. Why not? Let's start with 70,000. And now Governor Adeleke, the dancing governor, has decided to follow suit, and I hope other governors will implement this as soon as possible. Still, kudos to the government. At least, like I said, my greatest joy is the 3-year review every 3 years.
Which is even going to be a law.
A law,
because ultimately,
exactly.
In fact, we understand now that by Tuesday, President Tinubu is sending that bill to the National Assembly for consideration and hopefully for passage.
Exactly.
Which again will come back to him for his assent. But the joy of it all is when it becomes a piece of legislation, or as we say, a law, it becomes a standard.
Yes, it is.
So that every other 3 years, there's going to be some review, yes.
Exactly. And now, of course, we're in the studio and we're talking about it. Some individuals are very happy. I'm sure all individuals are happy, especially the NLC, who started this whole process of going on the indefinite strike, coming back, negotiations here and there, and at least they had of 70,000 naira, which we've started something, and we know with time it will get better. Now let's listen to some tweets of individuals making rounds, people talking about the new minimum wage, and we're going to start with the first tweet by Godwin Peter, and he said, please, will this be applicable to NYSC core members? Because we are also facing the harsh economy.
That's right.
And that's at Godwin Peter. He's saying that core members, of course, you know, core members in Niger State are really enjoying when it comes to the 200,000 naira.
Courtesy of the governor.
Courtesy of the governor. And that's why he says, you know, there's going to be a strike action from 1st to 10th August by a protest, not strike, protest. And he says, count my youths out of it.
They are too engaged for it.
We are too engaged. We have a lot of things up our sleeves. And of course, we have the next tweet. Please go ahead.
It says, I hope the implementation begins in August latest with all arrears, please. Thank you. Well, again, this has to go through the National Assembly first.
Yes, it does.
Yes, before we are able to determine when implementation begins. But for me, again, Juma, like you and I agreed this morning, it's relieving to know that Labour is also comfortable with this.
Exactly.
So it's not a case of the government has proposed X and Labour is saying Y.
Y, exactly.
So everybody's on the same page. Our colleague, Michael Adikon, hosted the vice president of the Trade Union Congress yesterday evening on Big Talk, and he also expressed the position of Labour that, look, it may not be perfect, but it's a good place to start from.
Exactly.
And Labour also wants to work with the government as the organized Labour to ensure that things get better going forward.
And I'm also happy that within the Labour Party there's also an agreement. It's not one-sided.
The NLC.
The NLC, yes, one-sided in the sense that some are saying why 70 and the others are saying 70, and I'm glad.
No dissenting voices.
Exactly. So everyone is working in sync together. All right, we'll be reading the next tweet now, and it says here, 70,000 naira minimum wage is nothing compared to the level of inflation in the market. We demand a living wage above 250,000 naira for Nigerian workers. Like, of course, it's not everyone that will be happy with 70,000 naira, but let's just have it in mind that kudos to the government. At least this is a head start. This is the beginning of better days and better things to come. So I'm sure with that, we know some people are not happy. Some people really wanted the 250,000 naira. Everyone was hoping. Like when we went out on that, the Vox Pop we did, some were saying 100,000 naira at least max is okay. But at least for 70, with what is going on, trying to put things in place, we should give kudos to this administration. There's a lot of things that need to be put in place. So with 70 starting point and the review again, so at least kudos. We'll get somewhere. We'll get somewhere.
All right, that's great. Says 70 in this inflation isn't enough money for Nigerian workers. I'm going to say, my brother, money is never enough. Even if you were to be paid 10 million, it still won't be enough because your needs and your choices and your tastes will also shoot off right through the roof.
Very true.
So I think it's a matter of, okay, I need to establish this. You know, Labour also said that while we're on the same page with the government in this regard, we're not also going to relent in our push for issues around electricity tariff to be reviewed, issues around the price inflation of petroleum to be reduced, efforts to ensure that inflation drops very, very radically. All of those. So it's a continuous conversation.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And then, of course, the last tweet we have here, it says the government should do something about the high prices in you want to say commodities here. This will put a smile on the faces of the masses. A Congo of beans is now 3,200, 3,300 red beans, 5,000 naira plus. Yes, like we said, it's a process. Labour, they won't relent when it comes to electricity, the high cost of food items, high cost of living, inflation, all of that. So let's just see how well this whole process plays out.
Yes.
And that's all the tweets we have on the new minimum wage implementation of 70,000 naira. So you can send more tweets. You can send your tweets and let us know what you think about this particular issue of 70,000 naira, the new minimum wage. Right, Uyi?
Right. We have some entertainment for you. We'll be coming up shortly as well. So we can dance a little, shake our bodies, and it's a weekend.
It's Saturday.
I mean, we can unwind a little. Let's just lean back and take work off of our heads for a minute, because by Monday, we're all back to the hustle.
Exactly. And don't forget, Saturdays are for weddings, and it's a time to relax. A lot of Nigerians go through a lot of stress
during the week in particular.
During the week. So we need to take time to take a breather. So Nigerians, breathe. Everything is going to be fine. All right, let's go on a very short musical break. The program continues shortly. Stay tuned.
Nollywood actor Chinedu Ekedeze, known as Aki, has softly confirmed separation from his wife, Nneoma Nwaja, whom he married in 2011. Aki and Nneoma's traditional marriage was held on 26 November 2011 in Obolo, Isiala, Mba.
Factual and well-investigated stories. Look no further than Global Television. Dive deep into issues with our in-depth analysis and stay informed with our educational and interesting programs. Join us on Global Television, where quality content meets excellence. Follow us on all our social media platforms to stay connected and never miss an update. Global Television, Nigeria, our pride.
Global Television is people's television. It's for the people. They focus on the content of deliverables.
Global Television, channel 365 on your DSTV, the station to watch for your news and current affairs. Hey!
This is Global Television, channel 365 on DSTV, the station to watch for your news and current affairs. This is Global Television, channel 365 on DSTV, a station to watch for current affairs and other societal news. Keep watching live.
Watching Global TV on DSTV channel 365. Where don't touch it now, just watch.
This is Global TV. Keep watching on channel 365 on DSTV station and listening to the latest updates. Yay!
This is Global Television on DSTV, channel 365. Keep watching. Yay!
Hello, children. Gather around, let me tell you a story. Do you know that stories have a way of captivating the minds of children, bringing fun and imagination to teach them morals? Join Sharon Ajay as she takes you to explore the thrilling and exciting world of storytelling.
I'll be sharing with you our next interesting story.
Tune in every Saturday on Global Television, time 5:30 p.m.
Is the desk on Global Television?
Nigeria, come join Anthony Momodu on television's most compelling and facts-finding talk live show.
We are the Palestinians. Because
that this country gets it right.
Who are these bandits? It's the Dex on Global Television, where we analyze and dissect storming issues and commentaries in the world's biggest black nation, Nigeria.
Who is being held accountable for this money?
The eyes have it.
We stay and decide policies and reforms on the Dex. Tune in Mondays to Fridays, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Global Television. Let's stay on the Dex.
Global Morning is your ultimate destination for engaging political and economic matters. I am Uyi Agmofwebe.
And don't forget to include social discussions. Tune in every weekdays from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am Queen Agaba.
For insightful breakfast ideas, business summaries, sports highlights, international and local news.